What's up everybody, it's Sean here and I'm back today to give you a review of the Nike Vomero 18 in this Dusty Cactus and Geode Teal colorway. So this is another casual user's review of a Nike running shoe. Following up on my review of the Pegasus Premium, this is the Nike Vomero 18, which is one of Nike's flagship running shoes under their Vomero banner. So in late 2025, Nike announced that they're restructuring their road running shoe line and that they're going to be released under 3 banners. So we have the Structure line, which is the most maximum support, and then the Pegasus line, which focuses on responsiveness, and then the Vomero line focuses on cushioning. And within those 3 columns, we have 3 different tiers of running shoes. So at the base level, we have the Icon series, which includes this one, as well as the Pegasus 41. And then the next level up is the Plus line, which includes upgrades in technology. And then the top of the line is the Premium line, which for example is this shoe right here, the Pegasus Premium. And recently Nike announced the Vomero Plus, as well as the Vomero Premium, which will feature a similar setup to this one, where they utilize a combination of ZoomX with Air Zoom. But this here is the Icon line, which is again the most basic of the series. And these retailed for $155 US or $190 here in Canada. The official colorway for this shoe is Summit White, Dusty Cactus, Geode Teal, and Black. And the reason why I was drawn to this shoe, I'm not a runner, but first of all, I love Nike technology or just running shoe technology in general. And this colorway really reminded me of the Nike Roshe 1 or Roshe Run in the beloved Calypso colorway. So that, for those who are familiar with the Roshes, was the most sought after of the OG7. And I own a couple of pair of those still in my collection, but this is basically like an upgraded version of that Roshe. So jumping into the details of the shoe itself, the majority of the upper of this shoe is crafted out of an engineered mesh, which feels very soft to the touch. When you compare this to the Pegasus Premium, yes, that mesh is more breathable and it's probably more lightweight, whereas this one has more of like a fabric-like feel and it feels more sock-like. Surrounding the edge of the toe box, we have this fuse overlay that has a silver reflective detailing on it. For the eyelets, they loop through this fly wire-like string, and it's reinforced with this very aggressive-looking stitch pattern. Underneath this, we have another fuse layer, and then the top 3 eyelets are covered in this white-colored TPU. Underneath this on the mid-panel, bonded onto the mesh, we have this black-colored Nike swoosh, and surrounding it, we have these teal-colored lines, which has a bit of a rubberized feel to the touch. Moving downwards, we have an internal heel counter, which gives you a decent amount of support and structure around the heel of the shoe. Overlaid on top of this, we have this synthetic suede, which feels like felt to the touch. On it, we have these reflective silver detailing, along with a black swoosh in the middle, and on the top, it forms a pull tab, which allows you to get your foot into and out of the shoe a little bit easier. In terms of laces, this pair only comes with 1 lace option, and unlike the Pegasus Premium, where the laces had a bit of a stiffer and scratchier feel, these laces are more of a traditional lace and they feel very soft as well. Underneath this, the tongue is crafted out of that same engineered mesh, and the tongue of the shoe feels pretty well padded. And then bonded onto the top of the tongue, we have this tag with the words Run Vomero 18 branding. So the interior of the shoe is covered in this white colored liner, and you can see how the tongue is fully gusseted, creating more of like a one-piece booty-like fit. For the insoles, these come with a pretty well padded foam lined insole. It's mesh lined on top, and we have Vomero maximum cushioning branding pressed onto the heel in black. So the upper of the shoe, it sits atop the star of the show, which is this chunky, technologically advanced midsole. So the midsole is constructed out of 2 types of Nike foam. We have ZoomX, which is their lightest, most responsive foam. This is on the top, whereas the bottom half is covered in ReactX, which is still very comfortable and very effective, but it's not considered their top-of-the-line foam that ZoomX is. So in the middle, it's given this gradient-like finish to it, and has a slight curve to it, giving it a bit of a rocker feel underfoot. And this might be obvious, but the biggest difference between this and the Pegasus Premium is the absence of Air Zoom or Zoom Air. But Air Zoom is going to be featured on the Vomero Premium. Nike just unveiled that silhouette, and I think that's dropping later this year, sometime around the fall. Anyways, turning the shoe over to the bottom, so the outsole here is crafted out of a mix of exposed foam with rubber overlays, which makes this a lighter shoe than the Pegasus Premium. So we have a combination of black and turquoise colored rubber. On the edges, it has this waffle style traction pattern. And then we have this reddish orange colored swoosh on the medial heel. So that breaks down the look and the construction of this shoe. And for those wondering about how these fit, Overall, these do run true to size, so in my case, I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, meaning when I go to a shoe store, step on a branded device, I'm actually a size 10 in between a D and an E width. So getting these in a size 10, they fit me very comfortably in a very slightly snug way, not even close that I'd want to go up half a size. There's definitely a lot more space in the toe box comparing this shoe to the Pegasus Premium. So overall, the Pegasus Premium just fits more snug, more sock-like, whereas these ones I feel like can accommodate wide footers a little bit better. Moving on to the comfort, so these are a very comfortable sneaker, and with the combination of ZoomX and ReactX, it's a very nice soft and plush feel underfoot, while still giving you some level of responsiveness and bounce back. If you're looking for something very responsive and very bouncy, it's definitely not close to the Pegasus Premium. Those ones by far give you a lot more bounce back compared to these. The Vomero 18 is very comfortable, but it just feels more like a typical traditional shoe, whereas when you wear the Pegasus Premium, it's very noticeable that it has a lot of springiness to it, and it's just at a level above what this shoe offers. So if you're looking for more of a plush, softer feel underfoot, this is gonna be the shoe for you. Whereas if you're looking for more of a firm feel in the forefoot that gives you a lot more bounciness in the heel, then I'd go for the Pegasus Premium, pricing aside. But while these feel softer underfoot, it still gives you a decent amount of support. I don't feel like these are as wobbly or as unstable feeling as the Pegasus Premium. So again, like I mentioned, it just feels like more of a traditional, safe sort of sneaker that still feels very comfortable underfoot. Finally, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship, so first off, material quality was pretty typical when it comes to a Nike running shoe. So we have an engineered mesh upper, which feels pretty thick to the touch. And then we have a bunch of synthetic suedes and fuse overlays, so really nothing that's reinventing the wheel quality-wise. The build of the shoe I thought was great though. It feels like a very well put together running shoe. And yes, it doesn't have the same bells and whistles that the Pegasus Premium has, but I think for the lowered price point, these are definitely giving you a great bang for your buck. So with all of that out of the way now, let's toss these on feet, I'll lace them up, and I'll show you guys how these look. All in all, if you don't want to shelf out the almost 300 Canadian dollars that the Pegasus Premium retails for, I think this shoe is definitely no slouch. And while it's not nearly as hyped, I think from a comfort standpoint, while it feels different than the Pegasus Premium, it's still an extremely comfortable shoe, and I think it looks very nice. And Nike has dropped these in a wide array of beautiful colorways. So this one I'm biased to because of my ties to Team Roshi and how this looks like the Calypsos. And even though I'm not running in these, I know that's blasphemous for everyone that's watching that is a runner. Even for casual use, I think these are a great sneaker. So let me know in the comment section down below, what do you guys think about this Nike Vomero 18 in this dusty cactus colorway? What are your thoughts on this silhouette? And for those that have tried these versus the Pegasus Premiums right here, how would you compare the two? Do you have a preference given the comfort, the performance of each shoe, the technology, as well as obviously the difference in the price? Leave your thoughts down below and let's talk about it. And as usual, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet. I'll link my social media accounts down below for you guys to check out. And as always, thank you for your continued love and support, and I'll catch everybody in my next video.